My name is Unai Fernandez. I'm from the Public University of Navarre. I'm a first-year PhD student, and this is my first conference and presentation at a conference, so I hope I do it well. So, we are going to talk about a pointer ball, a laser pointer for swept volumetric displays. First of all, I want to introduce my laboratory. It's called UMNALab. It's in Spain. We are still a new laboratory, but we are really welcoming, and we really want new students and people to come to our laboratory. We are specialists in 3D displays, haptics, acoustic levitation, and other fields. So, first of all, I will make a little explanation about what are swept volumetric displays. Then we will explain the pointer ball itself, the user studies we perform for it, other pointer modalities, because we develop not only the regular pointer balls, but also other different modalities, and some of the future work that could come from the pointer ball paper. First, an introduction. What's a swept volumetric display? It's a device capable of rendering images through 3D images that can be seen from any angle. Here's an example, and I will explain how it works. It's quite simple how it works. We have a diffuser, which is a semi-transparent screen that is synchronized with a projector, and it really moves really fast. It sweeps. That's where the name comes from. The idea is, if we coordinate that projector with the diffuser's movement, what we get is the illusion of having 3D objects inside of it. Here we can see some high-speed footage, and the results will be the ones seen in the left image. They are really cool. It's the technology that has been around since the 90s, more or less. So what can we add new to this technology? Well, our idea is to make a new interaction technique with these kind of devices. First, a little state-of-the-art of the current techniques that are around. Here we can see some papers from the early 2000s that already develop interaction techniques with volumetric displays. And also we have the regular 6D mouse, which allows for both left, right, and up and down movement in the display. These are really cool techniques, but they all present a problem. They are really connected to the display. That means what happens if you want to take that peripheral and use it in another volumetric display? You couldn't, or you will need a code, operative system, or whatever. So we thought it will be really cool to do like in the presentations that we do in 2D, that we use a regular 2D pointer to point at different objects in the screen. The problem is that as it is sweeping really fast, what it will result is in a laser line, as we can see here. And there is where pointer ball comes into action. Our idea is to synchronize a laser pointer so that we just project a point specifically where we want in the 3D dimension. It is, well, at first I thought it is plug and play, but it's not even plug and play, it's just play, because it doesn't need any connections with the display at all, neither Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or a cable. Works on every swept volumetric display, because the only thing it needs to know is the oscillation period of the diffuser. And I will show you some of the different methods that we have developed. The first one, to control the depth, what we call disambiguate, is to use a joystick. What you do is, okay, you know the line, the 2D line that will be made if you point it with a regular laser pointer, and now what we are going to do is to turn on or off that point at the right position every time. This is controlled using a joystick. You can move it up and down to disambiguate in the depth dimension. Here is how it works. What it does is, okay, we want to project a point at the specific height. Then, knowing the frequency, what we'll do is turn it on or off depending on where we want to project the laser. We also developed a second technique, which consists on a distant base. That means that we have a sensor that detects at every moment where the diffuser is located, and using that information, what it will do is, okay, I know that currently, for example, at 30 meters from the device, so I will project there the dot specifically. And if I move my hand with the controller 5 centimeters up or down, what it will do is the dot will move according to that distance. Those are really cool, but we wanted to test it on real users. So we make ourselves some questions. Which pointer style will be the better for depth perception? That will make for the first study. Then, was its accuracy along tracing 3D paths? That will make the second study. And the third study will consist on pointing performance on different 3D objects in a SWE volumetric display. So first, the depth perception. It consisted on a series of layers, and the user had to point between the specified layers by the conductor of the study. So here we have an example. What the user had to do is, okay, you have to point, for example, from this, between the second and the third layer, and the user had to do it as fast and as accurate as possible. So we measured the accuracy, the task completion time, and also we added some subjective questionnaires in order to get more information from the users. There were two conditions in this case. Instead of using the two methods that we mentioned before, what will happen is that he or she will use the joystick technique that I mentioned, but either with just a dot or a dot plus a line. I will show you an example so we know it better. Here it is. The difference between a normal laser that makes a 2D line. Here is just the regular dot, that is the first condition of this laser study. And then we have a dot plus a dash line. The objective of this is to see if the depth perception in the volumetric display is better with just a dot or with a dot plus a guiding line. The results show that the users perform better using just the regular dot, so in the further studies we continued using it. Then we got the second study, which consisted on a series of 3D paths, and the user had to follow them as fast and as accurate as possible. We used three different paths, which were a regular pipe with different irregularities, then a torus, and a tilted torus. And in this case, yeah, we used the two techniques that we mentioned, the joystick technique, which is controlling the depth using the joystick, and the distance technique, which consisted on using the pointer to read the distance and project the dot at the depth we wanted. And here are the results. We can see many differences between both of them when regarding accuracy, but we noticed that the joystick gave us better accuracies than the distance-based method. On the other hand, we have a trade-off. The accuracy is better, but the users perform worse regarding task completion time, as we can see here. Then the third user study consisted on pointing to different objects in a 3D scenario. The objects were the following: an icosahedron, a cube, a sphere, a star, and a pyramid. And the idea is, okay, we tell the user, now point, for example, to the sphere. And the user has to go to the sphere with the pointer as fast and as accurate as possible. The results were quite promising. The task completion time with both of the methods were quite similar, and the accuracy was higher than 90%. So what conclusions can we get from the user studies? Well, the dot pointer was usually preferred in the subjective questionnaires over the dot plus dash line from the first user study. Then we get a trade-off between the accuracy and the task completion time with the two methods, being the joystick one, the one that has the upper hand in the accuracy, but on the expense of having less, more task completion time, being slower thus. Then we get another techniques that we perform, but we didn't make user studies on them, which was, for example, the customization of the line. that could be useful in for some applications where we prefer, for example, a dot line, a dash line, or different lengths of the line. We also developed a wearable that consisted on adding the pointer ball into the thumb and the index in order to make for more natural pointing. And then we developed a third technique which consisted on the regular laser light gun, from the 90s, that it detects the light at the specific moment, and wherever it detects that the light is above a threshold, what we'll do is, okay, now I know that I'm pointing at the surface of a 3D volume, so I will turn on the light for a second, as we can see in these examples. This is how it worked. It had a light sensor that received light from the volumetric display. It was connected also to a laser diode and a dichroic cube. That what it did is just to project a laser 90 degrees into the volumetric display. And you can also adjust the sensitivity of the light using a joystick. So some future work that could be done with the pointer ball will be more usability studies out of laboratory, know how it performs in different presentations in a volumetric display with users, with a presenter and an audience. Also will be cool to modulate the laser so that we can project 3D objects instead of just a dot. For example, we have some visual cues as a bullseye, an error, or an exclamation mark. And well, we did the demo this Monday. I hope you really liked it. And thanks a lot for assisting to this presentation. I also want to thank my colleagues from the university, Josune, Inigo, Manuel, Ivan, and Asier, that really helped me to do this, to go out with this paper.
Any question? We have time for 2 questions.
Hi, Roel Vertigal, Human Media Lab, Radboud. I really like this work, but I was wondering, you should know where you are, right? So did you click? Did you try clicking?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Did you sorry, you should know where you are within the display, right?
Well, it does not need that, because if you know the frequency, that could be regulated using the joystick or with the distance sensor. Knowing the frequency, the dot will always be projected at the same position as long as the frequency keeps at the same pace.
So would you be able to sense the click?
No, it's just a pointing device.
Right.
The thing is that we don't have connection to the volumetric display, but on the other hand, we can't also interact with it. We can just point as we will do with a regular laser pointer.
And using a simple camera or something like that to pick up the dot?
We thought about it, but we thought that the biggest strength of the paper of the project will be to have something completely separated from the volumetric display. So
Right.
we finally discarded any sensing method that will require to modify either the volumetric display or the space where the volumetric display is placed.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Steve Feiner, Columbia University. So following up on that previous question, if you were like actually using a sensor like a camera to watch where that dot was, right? And you did allow a person to click, for example, you would be able to figure out where they were clicking or what they were pointing at, right?
Yeah, as long as you know, for example, with a bunch of cameras, if you know the 3D coordinates of the dot, you will be able to do so. But
Right.
with external code that will require, for example, image detection in order to know where the laser pointer
Right.
is, or
But it's kind of cool that even without that, you can see where it is, what the system doesn't know. That's really neat. Thank you.
thanks.